everyone. I have a prenatal Pilates class for you today. No equipment is needed. We're gonna go no props, but you may want a towel or a blanket to put down just for some extra padding for your knees because we'll be kneeling in tabletop at the start of class, optional though. Also completely optional, but if you want to advance things, you could wear ankle weights, wrist weights, up to you. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Nicole. I'm a STOP-trained Pilates instructor, and I'm a pregnancy and postpartum corrective exercise specialist. So you are in good hands if you are pregnant. That being said, I'm not there in the room with you. So first and foremost, you're going to listen to your doctor over anything I say in this video, and you're going to listen to your body. If anything doesn't feel right, you're feeling dizzy, lightheaded during this class, stop. Now, because every pregnancy is different, I don't like to box my classes in by labeling them second trimester or third trimester. However, it can be helpful to be around where I am in my pregnancy, just because as we progress further along, certain movements and positions do get a little more logistically difficult. So I am, how far along am I? I'm 19 weeks when I'm filming this. Okay, I think that's my whole spiel. I think we can get into it now. We're gonna start in a comfortable cross-legged position. If cross-legged is not comfortable, sit on a yoga block or a pillow to elevate your hips, and that can help a lot. We're gonna have our arms either down by our side or resting on our knees, and we're gonna start by warming up through the neck. So I want you to make sure you're sitting up tall, shoulders stacked over hips. You're going to bring your right ear to your right shoulder, and then staying within this laterally flexed position, we're gonna rotate. So as you exhale, I want you to rotate your gaze down towards the floor. And as you inhale, rotate it just slightly up to the ceiling, only as far as is comfortable. And continue to rotate like that, down towards the floor and up, relieving any tension you may be holding through the neck. Twice more here. Gaze towards me, come up tall, and now we're going to bring left ear to left shoulder. Same thing on the other side. You exhale out through the mouth slowly. Rotate, gaze down towards the floor. And inhale it up. Inhale through the nose. Now make sure you're not shrugging your shoulders up towards your ears. So relax the shoulder blades down your back. Relieving some tension through the neck. Very common to start to carry tension through here as you progress through pregnancy and our abdominals get stretched. Give me just one more this side. And then gaze towards me, come up tall, and I want you to reach your arms forward. Starting on the right side, we're going to circle this right arm up and open, tapping the fingertips behind us, and then just reverse the circle back through center, mobilizing the shoulder joint. Other side, left arm circles up, tap the floor, and back. Now, if it feels comfortable to add in a rotation, as the arm circles up, I want you to rotate open in that direction through the mid-spine, and then bring it back through center. If the rotation is uncomfortable, you can just do the arm circling within the shoulder. But if possible, I do want you to try to invite some movement into that mid-spine, which can get sticky as we progress through pregnancy. So we want to keep it mobile and moving as best we can. One more time, either side. Last time. Come through center. You're going to bring your hands to the floor and you're going to come through a tabletop position. I'm just going to turn to the side. So we're going to finish up our warm up with some breath work. So knees under hips, hands under shoulders, neutral through the spine, so there's length through the back of the neck. We're going to inhale through the nose, relax through the pelvic floor. Exhale slowly out through the mouth. As you do, lift to the pelvic floor, brace to the abdominal wall like you're giving the baby a hug up and into you. And then as you inhale, you can relax that. Now on that exhale, I like to think of emptying my diaphragm from the bottom up. So think exhale, pelvic floor, lower abdominals engage. Then you can think upper abs with the ribs moving gently in and down. Inhale, rib cage expands. And try not to just expand that rib cage in the front. Think about expanding into the sides of your rib cage and into your mid-back on that inhale. Couple more breaths like this. And then maintaining some abdominal engagement, we're going to go into a retraction and protraction of the shoulder blades. So we maintain a neutral spine, maintain some abdominal control, and we're just going to glide our shoulder blades in towards each other and then wide. So as those shoulder blades glide wide, you think push the mat away, and then you can lower towards the floor slightly. It's a small movement, mobilizing the scapula, gliding them across our mid-back. As you push the ground away, think shoulder blades wide, engage to that back and the sides, kind of your armpit area. Push away. Give me 4, 3, 2, and 1. So pressing the mat away, stable through the shoulders. We're going to take this into a donkey kick on our left side. So your right knee stays down. You're going to exhale, same as we were doing before, lift to the pelvic floor, brace to the abdominal wall. Once you have that core connection, we're going to drive our left heel up towards the ceiling, squeezing into the glutes. Inhale, you're going to lower the knee down. Exhale, donkey kick it up. Inhale to lower. Now, if you need to, you can rest the knee all the way onto the ground, each side, or it can just come to a slight hover. Now, as the leg kicks up, we're not arching into our lower back. The lift is coming through the glutes. So think brace to the core. Squeeze into the glutes. We're staying level through the hips, so we're not dumping all of our weight into that right side. Right hip is staying stacked over right knee. So do a little test. You should be able to pull your right hand off the mat without there being a noticeable change in your body position. Now we're going to really explore the hip joint coming up. So next time you come into a donkey kick, I want you to hold with that knee lifted to about hip height, firing into the glutes, brace to the core. You're pressing that mat away. Pointed through the ankle. I want you to start windshield wipering that left thigh. So you're taking it over to the right and over to the left. We're finding internal and external rotation within this left hip joint. Now, hip function and pelvic floor function are directly connected. Okay, because your pelvic floor is literally attaching on the inside of the hip joint. So really keeping a strong, stable, mobile hip joint can help benefit the pelvic floor as well, which is a huge focus of ours throughout pregnancy and postpartum. Now we're going to hold with the leg internally rotated. So next time that foot is pointing out to the left, that thigh is internally rotated within the hip joint, I want you to hold that internal rotation and go back to your donkey kick. So when you lower, it's kind of like knee towards knee, and then you press it up, firing into the glutes. Kind of pause at the top. You lower, squeeze it up. So I know that this can feel a little awkward. Try to maintain that internal rotation though, as you do that donkey kick. If you are someone who experiences back pelvic floor tightness, internal rotation in the hip joint can be an awesome way to help relieve that. Exhale. Core is supporting you as you do the movement. Now we're going to do the same thing but externally rotated. Give me 2 more like this. Last time, hold at the top, and now we're going to find external rotation. So windshield wiper that shin over to the right. Hips are still square to the floor though, so it's just the leg rotated within that hip joint. Let's go into our donkey kick here. Lowering, so it's kind of like the ankles are crossing, and lifting. And we have some wrist relief coming right up, okay? Just get through this, and then we'll switch it up. We'll lower onto forearm. Exhale, lift. And don't just swing the leg up and down, really contract, squeeze, pause at the top, and lower. You're going to give me 4 more. Keep the external rotation, 3, so keep wrapping that thigh outward. 2, next time you lift that leg up, I want you to hold it up and I want you to come back through parallel. so that the bottom of the foot is pointing up towards the ceiling. Now from here, we're going to lower onto our right forearm, peeling the left hip on top of the right. So we're opening up and lowering into this staggered tabletop position. And as we do, I want you to swing that left knee forward and kick the leg straight towards me. Let's reverse it. You're going to bend the knee and you're going to start to swing it back around to a donkey kick. As you exhale, brace through the core, press it back up to straight arms. So we're in our donkey kick position. We lower to the forearm, we swing the leg forward, kick it straight. Exhale, connect to the core, press it up. Keep moving like that. Go slow, stay connected to your breath. Three more. Now, next time you lower down and kick that leg straight, I want you to pause in this staggered tabletop position, lower the straight leg, tap the floor, lift, tap, lift. You can do it. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last time, bend the knee, bring both knees down towards the ground. Exhale, connect to your core, and then I just want you to drop the hips down, swiveling so that you're facing me, okay? So we're propped up on this bottom right forearm, shoulder and hip in line with each other, knees are bent slightly forward. We're engaged to the bottom side obliques, so really stay lifted. We're gonna abduct this top leg. So the left leg is gonna lift up and lower down. So we were just doing a lot of rotation within the hip joint. This, we're focusing on straight lateral movement out. So don't think rotate, think lift. So it's kind of a different primary muscle target. Straight abduction, you're gonna get a little more glute med. Whereas with external rotation, you're getting more of the deep hip rotators. Now, as the leg lifts up, we're not sinking into our bottom side body. So stay lifted, think length through the waist. Now, as you do this, I want you to notice what direction your forearm is facing. Your fingertips are probably facing towards me. I just want you to pivot them so that they don't have to go straight to the front of the mat. They can be at an angle, but just pivot them forward a little bit. We're going to challenge the triceps on this bottom right arm. Next time this left leg lifts up to a hover, I want you to hold it at a hover, and we're going to exhale, keep your hand down, press the floor away, lift that elbow off the mat, coming to a straight arm. Inhale, lower it down. Exhale, tricep press, straight arm. And down. If this is too much, holding the leg at a hover, then just stack the legs on top of each other, okay? Exhale, lift to the pelvic floor, brace to the core. Every exercise we do comes back to the core, okay? Now we are going to hold with the elbow bent, but not resting all the way on the ground, at a hover. So next time you go to bend the elbow, just bend it down halfway. You're at a hover, and I want you to go back to the abduction of the leg, the lift and lower. Woo! Elbow is bent at a hover. If it's too much, though, lower it all the way to the mat. You're going to pulse through the arm, and then you get to drop the elbow down to the floor. In 4, hold the leg at a hover again. 3, 2, hold the leg at a hover, and let's pulse the elbow down and up. Down and up. Don't let it tap the floor. Keep this leg parallel to the ground. Notice if it's trying to open up into external rotation, hold parallel. Pulse 8, 7, 6, 5, elbow down in 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the elbow down, pivot the forearm so the fingertips point back towards me, lower the leg down so they're stacked. Now we're going to probably have to hop this elbow forward a little bit. I want knee and elbow in line, hips back, okay? So you're kind of making this triangle shape with the body. On an exhale, we're going to lift the hips up into a modified side plank. We're going to abduct that top leg. Hips come up and forward. Inhale, lower them down. Exhale. Feel the brace of the core, then move into the exercise. Slow it down so you're really getting the exhale, lift to the pelvic floor, connect to the core, then move. Just twice more, we finish with a hold. Next time you lift up, you're going to hold for me. Hold, top leg is abducted. You're pressing away with that bottom shoulder. Hips are stacked and square. Hold 4, it's quick. 3, 2, 1. Whoo, lower the hips down. You can use your left hand to press yourself up and then sweep that right arm up and over. Stretch out through the side body. Awesome work. So you get a nice bit of recovery here before we repeat that on the other side. So this was a nice side body stretch for the shoulder and the obliques, but now let's stretch out this left outer hip. So swing your legs around and do the same thing, just the other direction. During pregnancy, always allow yourself longer times to recover when needed. So if you are ready though, we'll do the other side. You can just take a few more breaths here. Oh, I'm still just wearing my normal workout clothes. I haven't bought any maternity workout clothes. And I think it's time to, maybe not maternity workout clothes, but I might need to just like go up a size. My sports bras are fighting for their lives right now. Like I need to go up a size. Oh God. All right. So we're going to find tabletop position. We're going to do that on the other side. We're going to spread out through the fingers, hands under shoulders, knees are hips distance apart, right under knees. And we're going to do that donkey kick this time on the right side. So we're neutral through the spine. Start the exhale, lift to the pelvic floor. Feel that brace like you're hugging the baby up into you. And then we donkey kick, right heel up towards the ceiling. Inhale to lower. Now, if need be, when you lower the knee, you can lower it all the way down to the mat, pause, readjust, and then go into your next rep. If you're feeling pretty stable though, that knee can just come down to a hover. Exhale it up. So the big thing you're looking for here is to avoid arching into your lower back as the leg kicks up. The movement isn't coming from your lower back. It's coming from the leg moving within the hip joint, squeezing into the glutes. And it's not just a swing of the leg. I really want you to contract, squeeze, pause at the top, lower. Do a little test for me. Can you remove your left hand from the mat without the body making a big position change? It should be in this same position with the hand down or lifted, which means left hip stays stacked over left knee, keeping a little extra weight in that right hand. Twice more, and then we're going to hold at the top. Next time that leg goes up, you're going to pause, square through the hips, engage through your core, gently point it through the ankle. Let's windshield wiper that right shin, keeping it lifted, over to the right, over to the left. Now the foot will probably be able to go pretty far over to the left and maybe not so far out to the right. Totally normal. The human body just has more external rotation available to it than internal rotation. Keep the knee lifted as you do this. So the glutes are still very much active. Internal to external rotation. So we're going to go back to the donkey kick. We'll do it internally rotated though, which means you're going to swing that foot out to the right and you're going to hold in that internally rotated position. Inhale, drop it down so it's kind of like knee to knee. Exhale, squeeze into the glutes, lift. It's not a swing, it's a controlled contraction. Squeeze, pause at the top. Notice if that leg is wanting to come parallel. Keep wrapping the thigh inward to maintain that internal rotation. I know this can feel a little funky, but we've talked about the importance of that hip joint and its connection to the pelvic floor. So I want us to work on strengthening the hip in both internal and external rotation as well as parallel. 4 more, then we'll do external. 3, 2, next time that knee lifts up, hold it at the top. Now windshield wiper that right foot over to the other direction, over to the left. So now in external rotation, you lower, so it's kind of like ankles crossing. Exhale, lift. Squeeze into the glutes, like you're making a fist with your butt cheek every time that leg lifts up. Let's check in on what's happening with our upper body. Are you starting to sink down into those shoulders? We don't want that, so really press the mat away. Length through the neck, so we're not letting our head hang down. Your gaze shouldn't be at your knees. It should be at the mat, kind of just in front of your fingers. Give me 4 more. 3, 2, next time that leg lifts up, hold it lifted, come through parallel, you can flex through the ankle. So on an exhale, brace through the core, and now you're going to lower to that left forearm, peeling open through the left hip. You're going to swing that right knee forward, kick the right leg straight towards me. On your exhale, connect to the core, swing it back around, press up to straight arms. Keep moving like that. So now we are also working rotation within the left hip joint. So on the right side, it's the leg moving within the hip joint, and on the left side, it's the hips, the pelvis moving around the legs. The leg singular. We only have one left leg. 3, 2, and last time, you're going to hold with that leg straight. You're in this staggered position. We lower the straight leg to the floor. You exhale to lift. We lower and lift. You can do it. Give me 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last time, lift, bend the knees, bring both knees down, and then on an exhale, you're going to keep that connection to the core, and then just swivel, lowering your hip down to the mat. Okay, so you're mirroring me. We are propped up on this bottom left forearm, press the mat away, lift it through the side body, length through the waist, and we're going to start with that bent abduction. So your right leg lifts up and lowers. So let's check in on that bottom forearm. If the fingertips are pointing towards me, pivot them so they point forward to the top of the mat. It can be at an angle. It doesn't have to be straight, okay? Whatever is the most comfortable rotation for this bottom shoulder joint. In 4, we'll hold the leg at a hover. 3, tricep press. In 2, next time that leg lifts to a hover, hold it at a hover. Exhale, lift the elbow, straighten the arm. And lower. We're going to hold with the elbow bent at a hover in 3, 2, 1. Lower it down just halfway. Hold at that hover. Go back to the abduction of the top leg. Down and up. Don't sink into the bottom side body. Elbow is bent at a hover. If it's too much holding it at a hover, lower the elbow all the way down. You can do it. We'll pulse the elbow to finish in 4, 3, 2, hold your leg at a hover, little pulses of the elbow, down and up, tricep pulse, tricep pulse. Give me 8, 7, 6, 5, elbow down in 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the elbow down, lower the leg down, pivot the forearm so your fingertips are towards me, and then we may need to adjust a little bit. I want elbow and knee in line with each other, hips behind. On an exhale, feel the lift of the pelvic floor, brace the abdominal wall. Lift up to that modified side plank, lifting the top leg. Inhale to lower down. So the hips are going forward and up. The hips go back and down. Four more. Last time we finished with a hold. Up in that side plank, hips are stacked, leg lifted, press the floor away, open through the chest. Hold, it's quick, quick, quick. We're done with our side body series. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the hips down. Use your right hand to press yourself up and give me that side body stretch. Ooh, awesome work. So we're going to finish off class centering off, focusing in more on chest opening, connecting to our mid-back, neck alignment. And then let's swing the legs over to the other side. Same stretch, just to get more outer right hip. So the right arm will sweep up and over. And again, I'm going to give you a chance to kind of catch your breath in between sections. So no rush here. It's very common during pregnancy to start adapting a more forward neck position. And that is because our abs are stretching wide. They're not able to provide as much support for the spine. We're gaining weight. Our boobs are getting heavier. Our stomach is getting heavier. And it's just kind of pulling us forward. So it's very often to see this. So we're just going to work to kind of counter that, to strengthen the mid-back, and to open up through the chest because we can get really tight through here as we're pulled forward. So that is kind of the goal of this finishing section. Again, you can make it harder by wearing wrist weights or holding light hand weights, but you do not have to. So we're going to be in a kneeling position. If kneeling is uncomfortable, put a yoga block in between your legs and sit on that so that you're elevated, okay? So your hands can be on your thighs to start, shoulders stacked over hips. We're going to start with just a neck slide. So first, I want you to make sure you're level through your chin. So your chin isn't tilted down, your gaze isn't up. It's level as if you were resting your chin on a countertop, okay? And from here, we're just going to slide the neck back, or the head back, I should say. Slide the head back on the neck, and then release. Slide it back, and release. So think of trying to bring your ears over your shoulders, and then just relax. It's not a tilt of the chin as you do this. You're not tucking the chin down. You're not tilting it up. Again, think of that countertop and just slide it back. Kind of like you're trying to give yourself a double chin, or you're trying to mimic the motion of like a chicken's head. You know how it kind of goes forward like that and back? That's what we're doing. Now, if you are someone who already has pretty good neck and head alignment, then this may not feel like much at all, and that's awesome. If you are someone who has a forward head position like me though, when you do this, you're probably feeling some muscles in your neck that you don't often feel, right? All the more reason to work this movement. Now, next time you slide the head back in alignment, I want you to hold it back, okay? And then I want you to take your fingertips to either side of your ears. I'm just going to turn to face you. Now I think it'll be a little easier to see. And we're just going to open and close through the elbows, maintaining the head and neck alignment we just established, okay? And now we are just opening up through the arms and closing. As the elbows open up, you're thinking of gliding the shoulder blades in towards each other, but without puffing open through the ribs and arching into our lower back, okay? So think exhale, brace to the core, and then glide those shoulder blades in towards you. So again, it's all these good postural movements we are doing. Head neck alignment, connecting to our mid back, opening up through the chest, just trying to counter all the pulls of pregnancy. And those pulls of pregnancy are inevitable. We're just trying to slow their progress a little bit, okay? So it's gonna help with recovery after we give birth. Now we're gonna add on to this. So next time you kind of flap those elbows open wide, I want you to pause. And I want you to straighten the arms out to the side. Now we're gonna flip the palms to face behind us, but you're not just gonna rotate through the wrists or through the elbow. You're gonna think of initiating this movement right in the shoulder joint. Rotate the head of that arm bone as much as you can, then flip the palms. And then from here, you're gonna bend the elbows, bringing the hands behind your back or just to the sides of your body, okay? Depending on, mobility here. And then you can just relax them and let the elbows come forward. All right, so same thing, just down low. We start by opening up the elbows without arching into our lower back. Straighten the arms out. Rotate with a little sweep up, palms face forward. Bend the elbow, hands come behind our back. Let the elbows flap forward. It's like bird wings. Open, stretch, rotate, bend, bring them forward. All the time we're doing this, we are being mindful of not arching into our lower back and not flaring through the front of our ribs too much, okay? So the key to avoiding those things, abdominal engagement. So you're constantly thinking, exhale, lift the pelvic floor. Hug the baby in with that abdominal engagement. Now last time. When we're back at the top in the starting position with the elbows bent, keep them wide, hands kind of behind your ears. And on an exhale, I'm going to turn to face the side again. On an exhale, I want you to come up to a full kneel. Now, as you inhale, we're going to hinge the hips. So instead of coming all the way down, just slide the hips back. Bum hovers over heels. Exhale, lift to the pelvic floor, brace to the abdominal wall, come up to a full kneel. Inhale, slide the hips back, relax to the pelvic floor. Now, as we do this hinge, we're trying to maintain that alignment. So think sliding the neck or the head back slightly, ears over shoulders, connected to our mid-back, holding the elbows wide without flaring through the ribs and without arching into the back. I just noticed as I was doing that, my head wanting to creep forward. So I'm constantly thinking, slide it back. Now one more full rep like this, and then we're going to hold in the hinge position, and we're going to repeat that shoulder mobility drill we just did. So slide the hips back, bum at a hover. We're going to repeat that shoulder mobility drill so you can let the elbows flap in. You're going to open them out wide. You're going to straighten the arms. You're going to flip, rotate, rotate, rotate. Bend the elbows again, hands behind your back or just to the sides, whatever works for your shoulder mobility. And you're going to let the elbows go forward. Open them up. Straighten. So I'm someone who has a forward head position, so I am constantly thinking, slide that chin back. Keep your neck long. Open through the chest. Broad across the collarbones. Keep reaching the hips back. If this is too much in a hinge position, sit your bum all the way down on the heels, okay? Now last time here, and we're going to hold with the arms behind us. So I want you to open up through the elbows, stretch your arms back behind you, and I want the palms facing back behind you in this hinge position. And from here, I want you to sit your bum on your heels, come upright through the spine, keep the arms back so we're really open through the chest. You're not flaring through the ribs, you're connected to your core, and let's do one more round to finish of those head slides. Head can come forward, just release it, and then exhale, slide it back, like you're trying to give yourself a double chin. Stay open across the chest and connected to that mid-back as you do this. Can you lift the arms 1 inch higher? Notice, is it harder to slide the neck back into alignment, the head back into alignment, if our arms are extended behind us like this and lifted? It's not a nod or a tilt of the chin. It is the whole head sliding back. Give me 4, 3, 2, 1. You can lower the arms down by your side. Fingertips can come to the floor. Now, as you exhale, I want you to nod the chin forward, and you're going to let the shoulders slump forward, and we're just going to round through that mid-back, so opening up through the thoracic spine a little bit. And then as you inhale, I want you to stack the spine up tall, bring the head back into that good alignment, roll your shoulders open through the chest. Exhale, shoulders can round forward, nod the chin, round forward, coming into flexion. Inhale, stack the spine and open. You can even come into a little bit of spinal extension if you'd like. Exhale, round it forward. Kind of release, let it go, slump forward. And inhale it open. One more time. And open it up. From here, fingertips tend to either side. I'm just going to turn to face you, and let's just do a fluid side bend. Up and over, up and over. Little feel-good movement. We're going to finish up class with a moment of stillness. You can stay in a kneeling position. If it's more comfortable, you can come to cross-legged. Either way, let's sit up tall. Arms can be down by your side or resting in your lap. You can close your eyes if you'd like to. We're sitting up tall with that good alignment we just established. And let's just take a few breaths here, checking in with how we feel. You can stay here as long as you'd like. If your eyes were closed though and you're ready to wrap it up, you can open up the eyes. Awesome work today. If you have any questions for me, leave them in the comments. I would love to make videos, not just Pilates classes for you, prenatal classes for you, but also any videos troubleshooting certain things, talking about different aspects of moving your body, working out while pregnant. I am so excited to dive into this topic while I myself am pregnant. So any questions you have, leave them below. Again, thanks for moving with me today, and I will see you next time.